50 years ago this month, the legacy of Willowbrook sparked the National Disability Rights Movement. During the 1970s, journalists exposed the horrific treatment of children and adults who lived at this state school on Staten Island. Outraged parents became activists determined to make sure people with developmental disabilities were treated with dignity and respect. And one of those parents, Victoria Schneps. Victoria, so grateful to what you have done to help so many people, and thanks for being here.
My pleasure. I love you and I love what you do.
No, I love you too. And before we go to the 50th anniversary of the Willowbrook consent decree, I want to show this image of you protesting the deplorable conditions at Willowbrook State School on Staten Island, where your daughter had been under care. Take us back to that time and tell us what was going on inside that facility.
Well, there I am on the left with my mouth open, and believe it or not, I was talking into the cameras, but yelling back at protesters, because that was a time when my daughter Lara, who had been diagnosed as brain damage when she was born, turned blue in the nursery, and suffered irreparable brain damage, as we were to learn. And we searched for help for her. And the only help we could find was a place called Willowbrook, where they had just built an infant rehabilitation center. And we had great hopes that there would be help for her with physical therapy and occupational therapy. But I started my organization called Life's Work, and my lovely ladies and I volunteered, and I visited Lara, and we raised money. And within a year, Governor Rockefeller slashed the budget of the direct care service workers. And what happened is that people like my daughter, who had to be fed, she had to be diapered, she couldn't sit, she was totally a 3-month-old, helpless.
Yeah, they were
was
helpless.
Affected.
Yeah, and I don't want to cut you off, but I just want to get this in. Parents like yourself mobilized, which led to the signing of the Willowbrook consent decree, which was signed into law in 1975, 50 years ago this month. Explain how it protected people with developmental disabilities.
Well, the Willowbrook consent decree, signed, by the way, by Governor Carey, Hugh Carey was my champion because he signed it after a many-year lawsuit, meant that any person leaving Willowbrook had to have a group home placement with 6 or less people and a day program that they would go to. So all the money the state was spending on Willowbrook, which served 5,400 people, now had to be spent funding group homes and day programs to support the people living in those group homes. And that changed forever, the way people were served. And it was a federal class action lawsuit, so it was a nationwide movement of change, a seismic change.
It was. And Victoria, you founded a nonprofit called Life's Work, WORC, and these are residential and community services for people with intellectual disabilities and autism. I have 10 seconds.
Well, in 10 seconds, I can tell you that the services are needed today more than ever. We're in a fight to make sure that the people in the group homes get the care they need and are taken care of in the way that they need to be, and given them becoming the best they can be. And that's our goal today, to keep fighting, because, Cheryl, the war is never over.
The war is never over, and now the threat of more budget cuts. Victoria Schneps, you're a hero to so many. Thank you for your time.